Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Alistair and this is the On Cloudsurfer 2. Very quickly addressing the elephant in the room, which is the fact that I just called this the Cloudsurfer 2. Anyone who's been following the On Cloudsurfer series for a while now will know that the last version was actually the On Cloudsurfer 7. Well, On has actually now reset the series as of the last version, which was the Cloudsurfer 7 back in 2023. So that one's now called the Cloudsurfer 1, but I'm going to keep calling it the Cloudsurfer 7 when I compare it to this one, the Cloudsurfer 2 2025. So hopefully that makes sense, and for anyone who is confused about the numbering there, well, that's why. The On Cloudsurfer 2 then is really a daily trainer that has a nice balanced ride, certainly firmer ride than the previous Cloudsurfer 7. And it's really for bagging comfortable daily mileage. And it's actually quite a stable shoe too. Although it is for neutral runners, you will find that you will have a nice, stable, enjoyable and supportive ride with the Cloudsurfer 2. That makes the Cloudsurfer 2 a slightly more responsive shoe than the Cloudsurfer 7. Meaning it is a little bit more capable. It's more versatile. So you can actually run a bit faster in this shoe and actually get more for your money because you can do tempo runs and different types of training runs rather than just long daily miles or recovery runs or easy runs, that type of stuff. But is it better than the previous version? Well, stick around, you're going to find out exactly how this shoe performs, if it's any good, if it's better, worse than the previous version, and you'll get my final verdict and whether it's worth the money. Right, I'm going to quickly go over the key specifications of the Cloudsurfer 2 to give you a better understanding about the shoe as I jump into my performance review. Firstly, they cost $160. Quite expensive for a daily trainer. I'll let you know by the end of this review if it's worth that. They weigh 9 ounces or 254 grams, which is pretty well aligned for most medium weight daily trainers right now. It has a drop of 9 millimeters from heel to toe. Previous version had 10 millimeters, by the way. The midsole is using CloudTec phase technology. So you've probably seen this pattern here before. It's been used on the likes of the previous version of the Cloudsurfer, but also the Cloud Eclipse for one, and the Cloudsurfer Next would be another example. And it's using Helion foam as well, which is the same foam as those. But it does have a slightly more balanced ride, whereas the previous version felt a little bit more plush. The mesh is very breathable, super comfortable, tons of padding in the tongue, the collars, the heel counter. It really does feel like a cloud when you slip them on. And when you start running, it's almost like you're surfing on those clouds. Imagine that. I should probably do the marketing for On, shouldn't I? And when it comes to the outsole, there is rubber compound on there. Very similar to the previous version, there is still a section where there is just exposed foam on there. And I did notice, because I ran quite a lot in the Cloudsurfer 7 that came before it, I did notice the fact there's more exposed foam. It was wearing a lot more in this section just before it got to the rubber compound. So I reckon what On has done is they've gone and taken lots of people's Cloudsurfer 7s just to see the wear and tear happened on those shoes. And from that, they have re-engineered the rubber compound or placement of that compound to extend more forward to help mitigate that durability issue in the outsole. When it comes to sizing and fit, the Cloudsurfer 2 is very much true to size and it has a medium width. So if you are looking to upgrade to this version from the Cloudsurfer 7, you love the fit of that. Honestly, it just feels exactly the same as the previous version, same width. Even the upper feels the same, the lacing system. You wouldn't know that it was a different shoe, to be honest. So that's a good thing. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and comment down below. It really helps me and my channel if you do that, and I really appreciate it. It lets me know you're watching, you're enjoying the content, and to be honest, it's just really nice to get to know you guys. So introduce yourself, let me know where you're from, what type of running you like to do. If you're into road, trail, you like to do both, if you run marathons, just introduce yourself. Let me know about you and your running. And of course, if you've got any questions about this shoe in particular, or you're not sure where to start, let me know in the comments down below and I'll get you hooked up with the best running shoes for you. If you're wondering how to support me and my channel, well, the simplest thing is just to subscribe to the channel. But also, you know, if you do decide to buy any shoes that I'm reviewing, just use the shop link there or the links in description. I only put links to the stores that I trust and that I would recommend to you guys. So be rest assured that those links are all genuine. They go to some of my favorite stores that offer returns and they do fast delivery and they have a lot of stock as well. So if you buy through those links, I get a small commission and essentially allows me to keep creating content like this. So thank you. You've made it to my performance review. This is the part I enjoy the most. And I'm gonna start by going over the midsole and how it makes the ride feel. I'm very familiar with CloudTec phase technology because it's been used in shoes like the Cloudsurfer Next, the previous Cloudsurfer 7, even the Cloud Eclipse. They all use it and it is a really cool system. On designed it by using computer programming to trial out all the different combinations of positions and alignments of these holes within the midsole to get a really nice phased compression as you land on the shoe, all the way to flexing and then taking off. And the concept behind it is that it just gives a really nice smooth landing transition to take off. On's original shoes, which had cloud pods, did a very similar thing but in a very different way. Felt amazing, but the durability on those cloud pods were never that good really. So CloudTec phase, when they introduced it a few years ago, was really the next big innovation from On, in my opinion. And it feels awesome, it really does. But it's interesting, this particular midsole feels different to the previous version. It's more responsive and I guess you could call it firmer, meaning it is more versatile now. So you get a more stable ride, which heavier runners or people who need stability because they may overpronate slightly, then all you guys are really going to enjoy this shoe because it does give you a stable platform to help stop your foot from rolling laterally. So I actually really appreciate that, and because the CloudTec phase does a really great job of smoothing out transitions and the Helion foam is quite soft, you do still get a nice soft ride. It's just not plush like it used to be. It's not overly firm, it just does a really good job of giving you a smooth ride, making those daily miles very easy to bag. And because it's got a little bit more response, you can actually do tempo runs and pick up the pace in this shoe, making it a lot more versatile than previous version. The midsole also adapts really well to different placements of foot landing. What I mean by that is if you're a heel striker, then you're going to get on well with this CloudTec phase system in the midsole. It's going to initiate really well for you guys and you're going to get a really nice transition. If you're a forefoot runner, there's plenty of padding under the forefoot too. Really, it does suit a lot of runners, and that's why I think this Cloudsurfer 2 is going to be incredibly popular for a lot of people out there. When it comes to the upper design, well, to be honest, it's incredibly similar to the previous version. I'm going to compare these two shoes in just a moment, so just stick with me if you are interested in upgrading from the Cloudsurfer 7, because there are a few things that you should know about. But the upper is just incredibly similar. It feels the same, to be honest. Still very breathable, still very comfortable, still very easy to get a nice secure fit and a good heel lock within the shoe. All in all, the upper hasn't been changed much, but still feels great, and I'm never a fan of changing something if it works. So On has kept that, and I'm grateful for that. All right, now to look at how the two compare. The previous version, the Cloudsurfer 7 from 2023, and the Cloudsurfer 2 from 2025. That's how they look. If you look at the outsole and the upper, Like I said, incredibly similar. And so is the midsole. I mean, it looks the same. But just because it looks the same does not mean it performs the same. The ride is very different. So I guess the biggest difference in terms of look and actually durability is the outsole. So you can see there's a lot more rubber compound extending further back towards the middle of a shoe and from the heel going towards the middle of a shoe. What that means is you've got better traction across the entirety, the entire length of the shoe, and also better durability, because where there's no rubber compound, you will start seeing the foam, the exposed foam compound wearing down much quicker. Improvements to the outsole for sure. When it comes to the upper, well, that's largely the same as I mentioned earlier, so I'm not going to go over that. The fit feels exactly the same, and it's still a highly performing breathable upper. One of the biggest difference in terms of ride is coming from the midsole. I'm not sure why that is, because it's still CloudTec phase and it's still Helion midsole foam. So I can only imagine the Helion midsole foam is denser, meaning it's firmer and it's going to last for longer. It's going to be more durable, it's going to have that bounce or rebound for longer, but it's firmer, so it's more responsive, giving you a better response and rebound and energy return, but a firmer ride because of it. So it's not as plush as the previous version. If you love that soft ride of the Cloudsurfer 7, you're not going to get that here. You might want to look towards the On Cloud Eclipse, for example, instead. It does feel very different underfoot, but that's not to say it's bad or worse. It's just different. And I think this versatility in the midsole foam and response, it's going to make it a better shoe for more people. So heavier people or people who pronate slightly. It is a neutral running shoe, by the way. It's not designed for overpronators, so it doesn't have specific stability features, so to speak. For you guys, it is more stable, so you will enjoy it more than the previous version. And the drop is different. So it's now 9mm from heel to toe. Previous version was 10mm. That, in my opinion, is a good thing. And then finally is the weight. It's a little bit more heavy now, and that leads me to believe that this foam is denser. So that would make sense to me. And of course, I did mention there's more rubber compound, so actually could be that it's coming from this rubber compound as well. So a little bit heavier, but doesn't feel heavier on the run. Woo, that was a lot of information. So I really hope you stuck with me through that comparison, because that will help you determine whether you want to upgrade to the Cloudsurfer 2 or whether you might want to look at a different daily trainer out there. I write lots of roundups on trailandkale.com where I update them as and when a shoe is good enough, fits the category, then I will put them onto the appropriate roundup on trailandkale.com. So this one right here is a daily trainer. It will be making it onto my best daily trainers roundup, so definitely check that out. On there you will find other great daily trainers from different brands, and they're all in ranked order. So whether you're looking at this review in the future, that list will always be updated. So if you're looking for a daily trainer, I really recommend you start on that list. That'll point you to the best performing, most comfortable daily trainers out there right now. Is the On Cloudsurfer 2 worth $160 then? Well, $160 is quite premium. It's quite expensive for a daily trainer. But the Cloudsurfer 2 is quite versatile. It's incredibly comfortable, and it's a lot more durable than the previous version. And it's got that Swiss flair, which definitely does tend to come at a price, unfortunately. So you are getting quite a premium product. If you like how it looks, then you're not going to be disappointed with how it feels and the versatility and performance. So yes, if you've got $160 for a shoe that you like the look of and you want good performance, yes, I highly recommend you give this one a try. It's very enjoyable, quite different from the previous version, so definitely take note of my comparison section if you are looking to upgrade. But if you're still not sure and you just got some questions about how it differs to the previous version or something I haven't covered, let me know in the comments down below and I'll get back to you on that. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this On Cloudsurfer 2 review. If you did, once again, give the video a like, share it with a friend, and most importantly, drop a comment down there. Let me know you're watching, let me know you're enjoying the content. Write me a poem, anything, do it all. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more running shoe reviews just like this one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.